Normally I get on my case about talking about the previews because the previews are not in fact the movie, and it does actually bother me that I get to talking about the previews too much and too long. I fucking talk about the previews for like 20 goddamn minutes before I actually talk about the movie. But you know what? That's actually part of the movie going experience at this rate. So like, I may as well talk about the fucking previews. Also, I ain't got nothing but time right now, baby. So like, let's go, you know? Okay, so recently I saw the Beetlejuice movie, the second Beetlejuice movie. And let's just talk about the previews before I say anything about the movie. First of all, I love the first one. We'll talk about the first one in a moment. But yeah, I love the first one. And let's talk about the previews. Even though I get annoyed with me talking about the previews because they are in fact not a part of the movie. But they actually are a part of the movie. They're a big part of the movie. They're what we see before the actual movie starts. And they're a part of the movie experience. So I feel like talking about the previews is actually like okay. And like the movie industry needs to know how fucking obnoxious these fucking previews are. Okay, because they're really like actually a problem, and I truly mean that. I'm so sick of these dumbass previews. I actually went and saw this movie with two people who don't see movies a lot, which is fine. They were my friends. I was like, I'm buying you all tickets to go because I wanted to fucking go with someone. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. So then they came with me. They were kind enough to go with me. I'm just trying to figure out my shot here. They were kind enough to go with me, and we went and saw the movie. The reason I bring up the previews is, yeah, they are in fact a part of the movie, okay? We cannot separate the two because they're not separated. Most people don't even know that they ought to. If they don't fucking want to wait around for 30 goddamn minutes before the movie starts, if the movie says it starts at 7, get there at 7:20, you're golden. Unless you want snacks. Like, devote the entire time you're gonna be at the theater to getting snacks and sitting there. Because, like, I'm fucking weird in that I want to sit around and hang out before the movie actually starts. But most people are not in that boat. Okay? Most people are not like me. Well, gee, Whirlickers, I hope I have enough green dust. We'll see. I'm going ham with this one, y'all, because I told you I ain't got none but time. Anyway. So, I went and saw this movie. You guys, if y'all saw it with me, if you're watching this and you saw it with me, I'm sorry. That was actually the second time I was seeing it. I saw it the night before because I didn't want to go into it not knowing what I was there for. But yeah, I did see Beetlejuice 2 times in less than 24 hours. Okay, it happened. All right. Trying to remember. I gotta remember where I put this shit because I can't forget. Okay, so previews. I'll just tell you what the previews were. Pirate, you don't want to do that. Trust me. I'll just tell you what the previews were, and then I will tell you about them. So we got a preview for Sonic 3, number 1. We got a preview for Captain America, Brave New World, number 2. We got a preview for Venom 2. That was the third preview. I can't read my own handwriting. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Okay, something in the Venom trailer was overused. That's what I was writing about. Number 4, we got a preview for DreamWorks Wild Robot. Holy shit, that trailer makes me cry. I'll talk about it in a moment. Number 5, okay? Number 5, we got a preview for Wicked, which is one of the previews I've seen very many times at this rate. Number 6, we got a preview for Joker 2 Folie à Deux. Number 7, yes, because there are in fact 7 previews before movies that are big time anticipated movies at this rate. The 7th trailer was the new animated Lord of the Rings, and the movie didn't fucking start until 7:30. So that is in fact 30 whole minutes of previews time. I don't think I'm gonna remember this on my nose. He doesn't even have, forget it, he doesn't even have this on his nose. Yeah. Wow. What a problem. And I really mean that. It's such a problem. We're gonna get to the most fun part after I finish my makeup because this is gonna take a while, y'all. But I'm having fun. Anyway, what the fuck is all I have to say about the previews. I am convinced at this rate, I really am. I'm totally convinced that whoever the fuck is responsible for all the previews and distributing all these movies is totally, completely, all of the way out of touch. I'm convinced that they never, ever go see their own movies. I'm convinced that they don't do any kind of audience polls or anything of that nature. I'm convinced. Do you understand me? That's not something you want to be convinced of. You don't want to be convinced of a business venture that is going poorly, that has been going poorly, continues to go poorly, and they're just making it worse. I feel like maybe 6 months from now, I'm going to come on here and do a movie review, and there are going to be 40 minutes of trailers and 40 minutes of advertisements and 40 minutes of that shit instead of 30. Okay? This is actually a problem, and I'm annoyed about it. And it's not just that I'm annoyed about it. Like, this is a huge fucking reason why people don't even go see movies anymore. Duh. They're like twiddling their thumbs. Fucking whoever the fuck, James Cameron, I want to say Catherine Hardwicke. I feel like that's wrong. His ex-wife, Catherine Bigelow, sorry. They wrote this letter to, I don't know who the fuck it was, to the public or some shit, like 12 years ago, being like, we care so much about theaters and the movie-going experience is so important and we don't ever want it to go away, and we're actually legitimately so concerned. We're actually legitimately so concerned that people are going to stop watching movies in the theater. Like, please keep this art form alive. And that was like 12 years ago, right? That was, I don't remember how exactly long ago that was, but that was a while ago. And obviously with COVID, things have just gotten worse, but like, wow, they're not trying. But anyway, okay, let's talk about the trailers. Honestly, I don't really care about Sonic 3. It's not my thing. It looks cool. It looks like a cool movie, but I'm not a Sonic fan is the thing. It just contaminated my water with glue. What are we gonna do here? It's not that contaminated. Yeah, so that one looks interesting. Is this gonna work? That one looks interesting. I would watch it. I have a friend who absolutely loves Sonic, and she's really amped for it, and that's cool. And, you know, they look like fun movies, honestly, so tight. And then, holy shit, I would like to know the superhero issue here. I really would, because there are so many fucking superhero movies, and they're trying to make this superhero movie a big deal, which obviously it will be, because we're gonna get them nerds coming out in droves like they always fucking do for the big timey fucking comic book nerd shit, for the big timey superhero movies, that kind of shit. So like, what is happening is the studios plural, okay, are putting, and I'm also looking at you, Sony, by the way, with Spider-Man. They're putting all their eggs, 100% of their eggs, in these superhero baskets, and they're like, we're gonna make money with this. And yeah, of course you are, but that's like gonna be one of the only things you make money with throughout the entire fucking year. You're gonna make $1 billion or whatever the fuck with Captain America: Brave New World. I wonder if that one's even gonna make money. Sorry, I do. I like what's his name, and the one that one giant movie he was in where what's his name stopped being Captain America. That one made me cry. Okay, it's a good one. All right, but like, I'm so sick of superhero movies, and I think quite literally everyone else is too. For real. For real, okay? Quite literally, everyone else is too. Bro, for real, I don't remember the last time a trailer has made me cry consistently, but the one for Wild Robot makes me cry real hard every time. Okay? It makes me cry every time I fucking watch it, every time I've seen it like 4 times and I tear up literally every time. All right? You guys know that I'm a real fucking crybaby when it comes to watching movies and just life in general. But like, if you can make me cry with the trailer, congratulations, because that is difficult to do. All right? It is challenging to do that, and you did it, you've done it, you're gonna continue to do it with Wild Robot, and I'm gonna fucking cry during that movie. I can tell you that much. If I cry during the theater, yeah, you bet your ass I'm gonna cry during the movie. So that one looks cool. That one looks cool to me. Okay, we've got 1 out of 5 so far that is looking interesting to me. Okay, sorry, I didn't even say Wicked yet, but fucking Wicked. I mean to make an entire actual video about this because this is in fact like a real problem phenomenon going on, like overall, okay, with movies in general. And that's that I'm calling it the visually stunning problem. Well, let me first, before I get into that, let me tell y'all about Wicked, okay? First of all, it's a fucking, I don't know why this sponge isn't working. I don't know what the problem is. Like, it's not working. Okay, let me tell you all about Wicked the musical. Wicked the musical was a real big deal when I was in high school, okay? And I lived very near Chicago, so we had Broadway quality musicals happening there all of the time. A lot of people would go see them. I was gonna say, we would go to Chicago with the school. Our school would take us there every year. The reason that there are so many Wizard of Oz stories now is because the copyright of that like ran out. I think it only goes on for like 80 years or something, but that got, so yeah, it doesn't last forever. So now I don't know that it's public. I think it is public domain, actually. I think it's public domain. So like anyone who feels like it can write a story about Wizard of Oz and see how it goes, okay? The musical never intrigued me. Ever. I never found it interesting. I actually read the Wikipedia synopsis of it, and I was like, okay. Just wasn't intriguing to me. Again, like I said in another fucking video, I'm annoyed that they made Glenda a fucking bitch because Ariana Grande is clearly a fucking bitch in the movie. Like, she's not supposed to be a bitch. That's such a rude word for me to use, but I'm using it. She's supposed to be like a spoiled brat who like actually kind of has a good heart. The reason I'm not shooting this on my phone is I'm fucking worried that it's gonna ring and then I'll be interrupted and the video will be ruined, okay? But don't worry, I'm shooting the cool part on my phone, which is coming later. Okay. Here's what I mean to say about Wicked. The problem with Wicked. The problem, the visually stunning problem. And this is abso-fucking-lutely true of that new stupid-ass Mufasa movie that's coming out, too. You can make any movie visually stunning. You can put cajillions and cajillions of doll hairs into making it look just visually absolutely breathtaking, right? You can. Anyone can do that. Anyone with disposable income like the movie studios can do that, okay? So they do that. But the fact of the matter is just because you make... Okay, that's not working. That's okay. Just because you make a movie that's visually stunning and really, really cool looking doesn't mean that it's actually going to be a good movie. Like, yeah, people are going to watch it because it does in fact look cool and you're throwing money at it, so people are intrigued by the visual effects, right? But like the actual... Ooh, I got glue there. Okay. The actual movie itself, right? The actual script itself, okay, is lackluster as fuck. Lackluster as fuck. Also, like, is it kind of racist that the black gal is this random gal, but she's not black. She's actually green because she's wearing body paint. I'm like, okay, but yeah, I mean, I read the Wikipedia synopsis, and honestly, the fucking plot of Wicked seems stupid to me. It was a Broadway show, and now it's going to be a movie. I'm not intrigued. You can't fool me with the visual stunningness. Okay, I absolutely love the original Wizard of Oz. I even fucking love Return to Oz, you guys. That's not a commonly known one, but that one is fucking baller, and I absolutely love it. It's actually very terrifying, but of course, young me was like, let's get it on VHS. So I watched it again and again and again and again. It's a great movie. Honestly, I love it, even though it did very poorly in the box office. It's still a really good movie, and I'm a huge fan. Okay, and I will die on that hill. But I'm saying, the new Wizard of Oz movie looks like shit. Okay, and I'm sure it's entertaining. It does look kind of fun, but I think once a fucking again, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was a cool movie. Now I'm gonna move on with my life. Okay. Could add a little purple to this. Let me get this as my palette. Okay. So we can talk about we can talk about we can talk about the newer the Wild Robot. That one looks really cool. I don't even want to get into it because if you haven't seen it, then like hit me up. Don't hit me up. Hit up the trailer, mate. Don't even watch it. Don't even take my word for it. Just go watch the trailer. It looks fucking sick. It looks fucking heartbreaking. Okay, we got some purple in here. Winning. That's not what we really need, but kind of what we need. All right. Wow, I was so excited to talk about this. Okay. Venom, the first movie, wasn't that good. So there's no way that Venom, the second movie, is gonna be that good. I don't know what's wrong with Tom Hardy's voice. I'm borderline one of his biggest fans. Okay, now I need to add black to this. Yes, winning. Oh, this is exactly what I want. Okay. I think it's when he talks in an American accent. I think that's what fucks him up. Because he's talking in this, like, he talked this way in the Bike Riders too. I hate that title. Such a fucking stupid title. He sounds like he's speaking really, really high. He's like, trust me, sweetie. I think it's, as a matter of fact, I really do speak in a much lower register, a slightly lower register when I'm speaking English, like I'm England English, but like, is it really that different? I was about to say something really cocky, but anyway, Tom Hardy is a big profile actor, and I'm ain't. But I'm just saying, like, that movie looks kind of stupid. The first movie was, in fact, stupid. It was like a cool idea, but I could tell that the execution was just like not there. Okay, that's not. Oh, it's purple enough. Okay, we'll go with it. Yeah. So I think that Venom looks stupid. Okay, I want that to actually be darker. This is not quite going exactly how I thought it would, but hey, I'm having fun, you guys. It's okay. Yeah. So we saw these 7 goddamn trailers for these movies that don't even look that fucking good. So was it really a surprise that the actual movie Beetlejuice wasn't even that good? Nope. Wasn't a surprise to me. This movie was very, very, very highly anticipated. I was very highly anticipating it. I was very much looking forward to it, very excited for it, that kind of thing. But kind of fell flat in my opinion. You guys, I might have to do this again because I'm feeling like I mean, I might have to make this video again because I'm just not super into it. I'm not even going to talk about the first Beetlejuice movie yet because I don't feel like it, because, like, probably not everyone who saw this movie, right, even saw the first Beetlejuice movie. A lot of you don't have VHS players, okay? Didn't have VHS players, currently don't have VHS players, right? I'm aware of that. I think everyone's aware of that. But yeah, Beetlejuice is one that I watched on VHS. It's the one that a lot of people watched on VHS. And it's a great movie. It's an excellent movie. I love it, okay? But this movie was shitty. I didn't check if the writers were English. But I'm pretty sure they were. One had a fucking hyphenated last name, which is real English. Listen, I don't dislike English people, okay? I don't have a problem with them. I have a problem with their movie executives, and I have a problem with the writers, and I also have a problem with American writers who are going with American movie studios and stuff, who like read these scripts and are like, yeah, okay, go. The first Beetlejuice movie is hilarious. There's joke after joke after joke after joke. I'm sure everyone was lolling again and again and again and again in those theaters, and again and again and again and again where they just watch it on TV or whatever the heck. I will tell you, the first time I watched this movie, I counted, okay, I think it got a total of 5 audible laughs. And that's not 5 times that the audience all collectively laughed. That's 5 times that I physically heard laughter. All right? Okay? So, that being said, it wasn't funny. And that's really, and the reason I'm so mad about this shit, the reason I'm like, oh, I don't want the British messing with my shit, because British and American humor is in fact different. Okay? It is different humor. Different things make us lol, okay? It's not the same. Period. It's not the same. And people are like, oh, like, why do you care? It's like, actually, I care because it matters. That's why I care. I care because it matters, and I care, this is actually not taking that long. I can still add more purple, though. I care because it matters, and it's not fucking funny. Like, you guys want to make a funny-ass movie? Make a funny-ass movie. Be my fucking guest. But no one's laughing. No one's laughing. We don't do polite laughter in the U.S. I'm just going to put that out there. I think y'all in England, I think you guys do polite laughter. I think you'll just politely be like, oh, because that's the polite thing to do. And you know that there's a joke in there. But, like, we don't do that out here, mate. And I'm not sorry. We don't do polite laughs. I don't fucking know, okay? I haven't spent enough time in England, but I'm saying, like, y'all are fucking with my movies and I don't like it. But again, also, Americans are fucking with my movies and I also don't like it. It's pretty simple. Okay. So, what happened in this movie was, we got a broody teenager, Astrid, who is Lydia Dietz's daughter. Okay, and she's all broody and teen and blah blah blah. I'm a little confused because I watched Wednesday again, and Jenna Ortega's voice is way fucking different. I felt like it was way fucking different in Beetlejuice than it was in Wednesday. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just didn't listen. I think she was kind of talking more deadpan, more in a different manner in Wednesday, but she just sounded like really fucking like, she sounded really young in this movie, and she's not that young. She's like 22. She is young, but she's like, I mean, maybe they increased the pitch of her voice to make her sound even younger. Anyway, this movie was not that funny. There were times where I was like bored as fuck and looking at my watch. I don't look at my phone in movies unless I'm actually the only person in the theater, which does in fact happen. But I was noticing the second time I saw it, there was like a mom with a kid near me. Her kid wasn't that young. Her kid was, I don't know, 10 to 13 or some shit. But she was looking at her phone, and I was like, well, if it's boring, isn't it? Even though that is, in fact, very rude. But you ain't gonna look at your phone if you're enthralled. Which, there we go. A lot of people apparently weren't, which that woman apparently was not. Okay? Anyway, so... Also, I'm kind of fucking sick of Tim Burton, honestly. I'm sick of his shit. I was talking to my friend, and she was like, you know, I really miss Tim Burton's, like, stop-motion animation stuff. And I was like, my God, me too. She was like, I wish he would get back to that. And I was like, same, mate. I was looking up some stuff about the first Beetlejuice movie, and it said, Tim Burton said that he was actually really trying to make it look kind of goofy and corny and hokey, right? Which, like, he has every right to do, but he said he was really trying to make it look like a B movie, which is chill. And I watched it again recently, and I forgot something. I forgot one thing. I can go get it. It's okay. I can tell from watching that movie, like, how much fun everyone was having on set, like how much fun all of the special effects people were having doing Beetlejuice. Like, they just had nothing but fun. Like, all the editors and stuff, they were just having a fucking ball, like, going ham with all the stuff in the movie. Didn't get that vibe with this one. I really, truly did not. I really felt like they were just kind of like... I'm trying to look like Keaton here. I really felt like with this one, they were kind of just like going through the motions. And we opened on that Cake song that people make fun of for it being shitty, which is obnoxious. Like, I don't know why you would have chosen that fucking song to open on, because it's not even that good of a song, and people make fun of it because of how crappy it is. It's not a banger like Deo. That song is not called Deo. Bananas Bunch. It's called like Bananas Bunch or something. It doesn't matter because... Anyway, let's move on. Sorry, I got all caught up. Okay. We're a half hour in. I've barely even told you the fucking plot of this movie. Okay. So, Astrid, I almost called her Lydia, is all sad because her father died, you know, as you're likely to be when your dad dies. Of course you're going to be sad. Duh. So she's all sad, but then it turns out that her stepfather died. Sorry, her step-grandfather died. And Lydia is also like a working psychic. She says she's been a psychic for 12 years. And I don't know if this was like the B-movie aspect coming in, though this didn't really quite look like a B-movie. And we're going to talk about Tim Burton in a moment, in a little while. But like at the very beginning in the movie, like not even 5 minutes into the movie, by the way, you guys, I've told you, I can tell if I'm going to like a movie within minutes. Ooh, my hand is all dirty. Within 10 seconds, okay? Within 10 fucking seconds of the movie being on, I can tell if I'm, not necessarily if I'm going to like it, but I can tell if it's going to be a quality movie or not. Really I can. Okay, so within the first 10 seconds of this movie, I was like, okay, this isn't going to be that great, but I'm going to enjoy the ride regardless. So she's a psychic, and it turns out, and Lydia's starting to see Beetlejuice, and her stepmother, Delia, Catherine O'Hara, the redheaded gal, she contacts her, and she's like, oh, Lydia, Charles died, so we're gonna have to go back to the house. But Lydia keeps seeing Beetlejuice, and Lydia's like, oh, okay. And so then they go, why do they go and collect Astrid? They make a point to go collect her, and they're like, oh, you have to go, come with us for the funeral or whatever the fuck. It didn't really make a lot of sense in all seriousness, but like she's like, oh, okay. And clearly she's like an outcast or whatever the fuck. She's this brooding teen. I think the brooding teen what's it called? Trope kind of was working a lot better in the original Beetlejuice and not so much this one. Like we've already seen her as a brooding teen in Wednesday. I feel like a lot of these okay, so sorry, let me tell you the fucking plot of the movie. I feel like a lot of these movies today that come out and are sequels are like, remember how awesome the first movie like this was? This one kind of looks like the first movie, but remember how awesome the first movie was? Remember that? Yeah, we do too. Here are some of the same people. But remember how awesome the first movie was. It's like, yeah, we fucking remember that. That's why we fucking came here to see a good sequel. Which this is not. And it did make money. Okay? Obviously it made money. Ow. I only got one hair winning. It made money, right? Okay? Yes, it was funny. It was a good time. Sort of. It was a good time. Okay? I'll give it that. It was not as good as the first one. But like, I'm calling y'all out because I wanted it to be as good as the first one. I wanted it to be a good movie. We're not quite there yet, but I'm going to get to the point where I'm like, guess what? I thought of a better plot for a Beetlejuice sequel, but we're not quite there yet. Okay. I'm into this. Ow. It's a little bit much. So they have to go back to the house because they're trying to sell all the stuff, I guess. I just found it kind of ridiculous. Oop, boop, 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 boop. Okay, we're good. His does look like this in the movie. It's not quite perfect, which I love. So yeah, I guess they go back to the house and they're like, she's like, we have to sell all the stuff. And then of course, Lydia meets some neighborhood boy. Bro, this movie is not like, the reason I'm having such a hard time telling you the plot is because it's so fucking lackluster. Okay? It is. It's really fucking lackluster. It's really fucking like kind of stupid. Yeah, so, and it's boring. It was also boring, okay? There wasn't, like, a really big lesson here. There wasn't, like, a really big, like, cool thing here. Which, you know what? I feel like you could argue is true for the first... No, it's not true. The first Beetlejuice. Lydia was all depressed and, like, boo-hooing about life and melancholy and shit about it, but... with the help of the Maitlands and the help of them... and her helping them to get out of the grips of Beetlejuice, she was able to find joy in life again, which is a big deal. Okay, that is in fact a big deal. All right? Okay, I don't think I have enough green dust. Tough shit. But guess what, you guys? We're going to do this again. Let me attempt it with this. Let's see how this works. I've never used this before. What is this? This is Ruby's Spirit Gum Adhesive. So, anyway. They go... Ow. Oh, that smells gross. Okay, I probably shouldn't be putting this on my hairline, but it's a little too late for that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bro, this is turning out quite well. Okay, I need more gum, but you know what? I'm not going to use this because it stinks. I'm going to use my handy dandy glue. Do I want to use this? I'll just use glue. It smells gross. Glue is non-toxic. That's what I was using before. Sorry, I forgot my train of thought again. A lot of this was just gimmicky, stupid shit. A lot of this was just Tim, again, like I said, like Tim Burton being like, haha, remember the first movie and how it was cool? which is kind of stupid. Where's my brush that I was using this with? I think it's dirty. Where's my thin brush? Okay, it's right there. So there wasn't like really that much of a plot. Okay, so Lydia, sorry, not Lydia. I keep fucking calling Lydia's daughter the wrong name. Shocker. Astrid, Jenna Ortega. She finds this boy and she resents her mom because her mom is this famous psychic. But let me tell you something about this boy and her mom having been a psychic. At the very fucking beginning of the movie, we open on Lydia's TV show. She's like, I'm a psychic now. Okay, what I was going to say, sorry, a minute ago, within the first 5 minutes of the movie was there was a doggo and they did a little like doggo sound and it didn't match the dog's. I don't have to use a brush. I can use my finger. It didn't match the dog's. The dog didn't actually bark at all. And like when you've got a continuity error in the movie like that, like that's a little bit problematic at the very beginning. So I was like, okay, here we go. But most people don't notice that kind of thing, but I do. So that right away I was like, but hey, I shouldn't complain if there's any dog involved at all. This is craft moss that I crushed up from the craft store. Maybe I have to use the adhesive thing. But yeah, so she gets it. Okay. So at the very beginning of the movie, Lydia was like, I've been a psychic on TV for over 15 years. And then Lydia meets this boy who turns out to be a ghost who's actually been dead for 23 years. But he's like, your mom is Lydia Dietz? I'm like, how the fuck would he know that if he's been dead for longer than she's had her fucking show? They do that all the time in fucking screenwriting. It's so embarrassing, and I guess no one fucking notices it. But they do that shit all the time in the newer Tron movie. I can't remember when exactly it came out. I want to say 2010. In the newer Tron movie, the guy was like, my dad went missing 20 years ago when I was 12. And then later in the movie, he says that he's 27 when he would in fact be 32 if it was 20 years prior to that, and he was 12 when his dad went missing. But I guess we can't do basic math. They're just always doing that shit, and it's quite frankly very embarrassing and stupid and unnecessary. But anyway, then what happens? I was not impressed with this movie, like I said. Like, yeah, it was kind of fun to watch. It was like, oh, haha, cool. But it was by no means a classic movie, and it cannot hold any type of candle to the first Beetlejuice movie. Quote me. I'm almost done here. Not really. I'm getting closer to being done here, which is exciting to me because I was like, you know what? I can think of a better plot for a Beetlejuice sequel, and I did just that. But we're not going to talk about it quite yet, because I have more to tell you about the movie. So I am looking forward to the day that Ms. Jenna Ortega gets an on-screen kiss with a guy who is not some kind of paranormal thing, because when he was in, okay, I'm looking better and better. Who's bad? When she was in Wednesday, she ended up having a crush on a guy who turned out to be a vampire. No, sorry, he turned out to be a werewolf. And in this movie, she has a crush on this kid, and it turns out this kid is actually dead, and he murdered his parents, which, like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah, then some stupid shit happened, and, like, that's really all you need to know. But, like, would you go see a movie that's, like, supposed to be a comedy, but know that people only laughed 5 times within the movie? Is that a movie you would go see? Tell me. I'm gonna guess probably not. I mean, if you like the theater experience, by all means, go watch this movie, okay? I love the theater experience. I'm here for it. Even if I hate the movie, I am most entertained. Bruh. I'm looking so good right now. I am most entertained by this shit, okay? Oh, winning. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Hey. That's another thing. I have the biggest thing for Michael Keaton. Quote me. I love him. I will always love him. I got a big fucking crush on that guy, though it would never work because I'm engaged and he's way too old for me. But he's real cool and he's such a great actor and I am obsessed with him as Beetlejuice. Like, that's some of his best work. Do you understand me? It is. It is. And like, I was bummed because I feel like if you're gonna fucking make a goddamn Beetlejuice sequel, then make it the Michael Keaton show. Make it the Beetlejuice sequel show. But I felt like we barely got to see Beetlejuice being Beetlejuice, you know? I really did. I felt like that was like, he was in it, right? But I want to see him doing his commercials in a fucking cowboy outfit. I want to see him being a fucking snake terrorizing people. That didn't happen in the movie. I want to see him being Beetlejuice. I really do, right? You guys, I had to wait so many days to do this because I was going to do this video because I was going to do it one day and then I didn't do that day. But then because I didn't have the green stuff, so I had to go get the green stuff, and now I had the green stuff. Then I had to wait for my hair to not be washed for a while. And now here we are finally. And I'm being Beetlejuice. Look at this. Look at me go. Anyway, this movie was still. I was annoyed with it. It was kind of fun. You know, yes, it's fun to see the people reunited. It's fun to see the actors reunited. I don't know why the fuck they even included Charles in this movie. Like, you're not going to include Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, but you're going to include the Charles guy, that guy. By the way, I knew what he had done. I'm not going to fucking tell you because you can look that up. But I knew about that in the Oddies, okay? And now people are like just learning of it. I'm like, miss me with that shit. Can't remember where I put glue at this rate. Put a little more over here. You guys, I had plenty of green dust. Thanks be to God. Okay, we're getting there. But yeah, this movie was weak. Yeah, it made money. Okay, it did. But just because something makes money doesn't mean it's actually a quality film. Sorry. Doesn't mean it's actually good. Okay. So, what this movie was lacking was, one, humor, and two, I rewatched. I'll tell you now. We can talk about this. And that's that I rewatched the first Beetlejuice movie, and I love it. I love the first Beetlejuice movie. Just the fucking first few minutes are fucking key. The first few minutes of Beetlejuice, and I hadn't seen it in a long time. Okay, it had been quite a while since I had watched it, but blew me away. The music, okay, the music is so fucking baller. I love the music. The music is iconic as fuck. I was annoyed with myself because when I was waiting alone in the theater to watch the movie the first time, I was like racking my brain because I couldn't fucking remember Danny Elfman's name, and it was really bothering me. I was like, who is that? But then I finally was like, okay, it's gonna happen in the credits, so I don't need to worry. And I saw him in the credits. I was like, thank God. Listen, I think that Tim Burton's heart was not fully in this. I really don't. I don't think he wants to be a sellout, but he kind of is. I think he just did this because he was asked to, and I don't think his heart is in it. I think that it could have been in it if he had done my script, which, like, bro, I forgive you. I hadn't come up with the treatment until, like, today, so I'll forgive it this time. But I'm just saying, oh, this is what this is what I fucking came to do. Okay. Okay. There we go. I think that Tim Burton should direct shows. He should direct Broadway shows. Because that's what's fun and good, right? And Beetlejuice's lips are actually kind of colorful, so I don't want this to be too colorful. Okay, I wish that I don't wish that Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin had been in this, but I wish that their characters had been in this. They could have been in it, but like briefly, right? If they could have shown them if they had actually aged. But anyway, now we're gonna try to color my hair with a method. Oop, we got some glue. Whoops, with a method I have not yet used. So this will be real experimental, you guys. And then you're going to get my pitch for the different Beetlejuice movie that I came up with, okay? That's better than the current one that's in theaters now. Oop, I should probably cover my face because it's just going to get in my face. Oh, that's not bad. Guys, I love making messes. This is so much fun. Okay, this isn't bad. His hair is like really wispy and weird and all over the place, which mine will be soon. So, one of the stars, I would say the main fucking star, one of the absolute main stars of the first Beetlejuice movie is the house, okay? That house is dope. That house is beautiful. That house is tight. I looked it up because I could have sworn I was like, and this is the same. I was the same way with Home Alone. Okay, I was like, there's no way that that's not the house. I was like, yes, that's the exterior of the house, but that has to be the interior of the house. Nope, those are sets. And that fucking shit. That shit blew me away too when I learned that about Home Alone. I was like, there's no way that's not the actual house. That has to be the house. They have to fucking da-da-da. No, it wasn't the house. Okay? That was not the house. Those are sets. All right? And the star, like I said, the star of this movie is in fact the house. One of the stars of the movie, right, is the house. It's baller. It's dope. We love it. But this one barely saw the house. And that's the whole point of the first movie, right? Is Barbara and Adam, Gina Davis, and Alec Baldwin were like, we can't let them take our house. We love our house. And they did. They loved their house. They didn't want to sell it either, right? Okay, this is working, you guys. Okay. Yeah, I was disappointed that Beetlejuice was like hardly in this movie. Okay, hardly at all. And oh no, he wasn't hardly in it. I'm not saying that, but I feel like we didn't quite get to see him shine. Okay, I felt like that was very like I want to see. Of course, you bet your ass I want to see Michael Keaton shine. Duh, he's Beetlejuice. Hello. Anyway. Almost done coloring my hair here. Good thing I got plenty of fucking dust left. I should have gotten more white, but it's too late. Oh, this is still pretty fucking good, bro. Oh, I'm gonna do a Beetlejuice move right here. I love how much he doesn't care about things. And I just love him. Like, I love Beetlejuice. And this is why he's such a fucking mood. Is he does and says all this crazy shit that no one would say or do, right? Such a shame that we didn't quite get to see him really like being himself in this movie, right? Anyway, you guys, I was like, I can come up. Why isn't this pulling? I was like, I wish you could see this mess I made just now. It's awesome. C'est pas comment fumer. C'est les physiques. I came up with a better movie than this. Okay, now I'm getting out my phone because we're gonna do 2 different videos of this one, my review, plus my attempt at doing another fucking pitch video. What's good? Gotta turn this one around. So y'all are getting 2 videos right now. Okay, oh, this is so much fun. 1 second. That's enough of that bowl. Okay, so we got a pitch for a different, better Beetlejuice movie. You ready? I am. So we've got the Khans, Khan, who are moving into town. And they're an Indian family. By the way, y'all are like, oh, DEI, like, oh, let's put in diversity bullshit, da 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 da, which I'm for. But in that case, why the fuck wouldn't you have made movies about Indian people? Is my question. About Indian people. Also the Native Americans. Okay, chill out. But I'm saying, like, Indian folks love seeing movies. Bollywood is a much more profitable business model than Hollywood. Okay, so if Hollywood were to make a blockbuster with an Indian family, you're gonna make $1 billion. Period. Anyway, we got the Khans, okay? We got the whole Khan family, whole Khan clan moving into the Beetlejuice house, all right? So we've got the mom, we've got the dad, we've got 2 kids, an older daughter, younger son. Okay, the dad is Vineet Khan. He's a scientist, okay? And so is Virali Khan, the mom, all right? They're these high-end, like, scholarly scientists, okay? And they don't believe in that ghost bullshit. So they're trying to buy a house. They find the old Dietz's residence. The realtor is like, yeah, I can't sell this house. People think it's haunted. And the Khans are like, we don't believe in that bull. Okay, we're sound-minded scientists in this family, all right? No, we don't believe that. So no, of course we'll take the house. We love it. All right, so we've got Vineet is the dad, Virali is the mom, Triveni is the older sister. She's this very brooding, very on her phone, on her technology, earbuds in all of the time, teen. She's just in a mood, right? Normal for teens. Anyway, then we got young pup Devat, Daivat. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I'm doing my best. Devat, okay? Devat. So Triveni is like, she's, 16, okay? And then Devat is, 13, so he's still kind of a cute little boy, right? The thing about Devat is that he actually, even though his mom and dad are these, like, very scholarly scientists who don't believe in that stupid ghost shit, okay? Devat loves folklore. He loves ghost stories. He's into all of it, okay? And mom and dad are like, they're like, oh, isn't that cute? Devat likes that fictional stuff that we don't believe in. And they're borderline rude about it, but, they try to be nice about it because he's their son and they love him. But anyway, so they move into this house and Devat starts seeing ghosts. He sees the Maitlands. He tells his parents about it. By the way, I would also love for this movie to explore the Maitlands because they were, in fact, doomed to haunt their house for 125 years. And like, if me and my fiance died and we were doomed to haunt our house for 125 years, I'd be like, tight, let's go. And they also were more inexperienced ghosts when we first met them. They had just died, and by now it's been 36 years, so they're a little bit more seasoned at being ghosts, right? So anyway, he meets them, and the parents he tells the parents, and they're like, oh yeah, funny story, David. That's cute. Sure you did. But he also goes up and he finds the model, and he thinks it's really interesting, and he actually starts working on it. And something that I would like to speak to that I actually forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, the other video, if you're watching now, if you only just tuned in, is that I want to see parents of teens having a good relationship with those teens. Yeah, and I want it to improve even more by the end of the movie, because I'm sick of seeing this, like, oh, I hate my teenage kid. Like, oh, I don't know how to take care of my teenage kid. Like, miss me with that shit, dude. We deserve to see healthy relationships of parents with teens. Okay, that's really important. Anyway, so David is doing the model. He's doing his thing. His parents are still, they're so logical. They have all these, important dinners with the logical, there's scientific folks who come meet up with them and that kind of thing. And meanwhile, Trevani, the older sister, I don't think she really even speaks. We just get nothing but attitude from her for the whole first half of the movie. But anyway, when at one point David finds he's kind of exploring. He's not so much into the technology. He's exploring. He's looking around. He finds a dog. He finds what he presumes to be a stray dog, and he tries to bring it home. But the dog comes up to the front stairs of the house, and he won't go inside. Even though David has successfully given him food and the dog is eating it, the dog's like, bye, runs off, because the house is haunted. And the house is really a star, right, of this movie. The house is a character in this movie, okay, that we're not going to ignore. I felt like in the second Beetlejuice movie, it was kind of ignored, and I feel like that kind of ruined this movie that I'm telling you about now, but I digress. Okay, so he's working on the model. He sometimes, has a little chat with the Maitlands. By the way, what I would love to do for the Maitlands is I would love for 2 new young pups. I think both Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin were like 30 or so when they were in the first Beetlejuice movie. I would love for 2 new young pups who look just like young Alec Baldwin and young Gina Davis to play those characters, okay? This movie clearly has a lot of staying power, and we need to hold tight to it and love it and make sure that it continues to have staying power. Anyway, so they're up in the attic doing their thing, and eventually David does in fact see Beetlejuice, okay? And it turns out that Beetlejuice is actually, I think they call him a demon in the movies, but he's actually really more of a poltergeist, if you ask me. He's kind of a poltergeist. What happens is he's like, ooh, I'm gonna get to this kid, and he's like trying to get to him, and he appears to David, right? And then David tells his parents, and they're like, oh, that's concerning. It probably happens maybe more than once. And then eventually he's like, well, and they've just moved to this town, right? I don't fucking know from where. Berkeley, doesn't matter. So he tells his parents, and then his parents are like, David, that's kind of concerning. Like, let's take you to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, right? So then they take him to one, okay? And he's still a young kid, and his parents are, more of the example to him than anyone. So he's telling the psychiatrist, psychologist, whoever the fuck, about... Sorry, I should have done that bigger. Let me try. I want to be like Beetlejuice, don't I? That was okay. He tells his parents he's seen Beetlejuice. He's like, I saw this crazy demon, da 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 da. And his parents, okay, sorry, I told you this. He goes to the psychologist, and the psychologist is like analyzing him. He's telling the psychologist what's happening, and the parents are really hoping that the psychologist is like, okay, here, your kid has this. Here's some pills. Goodbye. What happens is the psychologist is like, did you move into the house on the hill, the white one? And Devot's like, yeah, why? And the psychologist is like, it just so happens that a lot of people in this town think that house is haunted. And he's like, what? And he looks into it a little bit more, or whatever the fuck. And the psychologist also, or psychiatrist, whatever, tells his parents, hey, I don't actually think Devot has any kind of problem. Like, but Devot is like, well, you believe in ghosts? And the psychologist is like, yeah, I do. And so Devot is so annoyed with this and so upset that his parents won't believe him. And there's just so much tension in the car when they're going home that he goes the fuck home and he goes up to the attic and you know what he says? Beetlejuice, 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 to prove it to them that he's not fucking making this up. Okay? So then he's in there and he's thrown into the afterlife, right? He's thrown into the afterlife with Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice wants to get him. He finds out that because Devot is in fact a minor, he's going to need consent from Devot's parents. And so, but Devot's parents, like, still, they don't know yet that Devot is missing, right? Okay. But then we can do we can have like an important dinner. Maybe Devot left a note being like, I'll be back soon, Mom and Dad. And then they have an important dinner with some like scholarly folks or whatever. And I love the Deo scene in the original Beetlejuice. So why don't we do that with a different banger from a similar time ago to when that song, whatever, to a similar song today as Deo, okay? Actually, it's not called Deo, it's called Banana Bunch or something, but so they have this important dinner. And you know what song they all fucking start dancing and lip syncing to? Hold On by Wilson Phillips. And at this point, it's just getting ridiculous because the parents are like, yeah, we still don't believe in ghosts, so we still don't believe in poltergeist kind of thing, like, but, and everyone's like, well, we had this weird, like, experience, like, why were we all, like, singing and dancing to the song? And the parents are like, well, I think the words just kind of came to us, right? But it's, like, getting outrageous how much they're refusing to believe at this rate. Anyway, so they can't find Devot because he is in fact stuck in the afterlife. And then Barbara and Adam, Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin are trying to help the parents. They're trying to help the sister find out where he is. And then they do successfully get them up into the attic. And then they find like a flyer or whatever the heck that says Beetlejuice, say Beetlejuice 3 times on it. And they're like, what is this nonsense? And they say it without thinking. And then they too get swooped in the afterlife, right? But it turns out within the rules, the laws of the land or whatever the heck in the afterlife, like I said, Beetlejuice needs consent from the parents in order to get the life of this child, Devot, okay? And I just want to play up the like trickster manipulation that's going to happen with Beetlejuice, because that's what poltergeists do, is they trick you, and that's also what demons do, is they trick you into thinking that you're thinking whatever you're thinking or whatever the heck, right? Anyway. Wow, I can't wait to shower. Okay. So, Mom and Dad are sucked in the afterlife, right? But the sister, Treveni, she's like, oh man, what's going on here? Where is my family? Where is my brother? Where are my parents? And she actually starts getting ads on her electronics for Beetlejuice. And she's like, what? She finds out, and then she goes to like the hardware store or whatever the heck, wherever Devot was going to get stuff for the models. She finds out that the house is also haunted, and she's like, oh no, what do I do? How can I save my family? And what happens is she's able to get in contact with the Dietzes, okay? She gets in contact with them. She's like, come help me, I need your help. And they're like, okay, here we are. And like, there's that big reveal, right? There's the big reveal of like Lydia coming back, like, here I am, right? Okay. And maybe she also finds the handbook and meets the Maitlands because they're trying to help. And but Lydia has arrived, right? And in the afterlife, with Beetlejuice wreaking havoc and, pulling on Devot and his parents' heartstrings, maybe he has them meet great grandma or someone who they loved very much. He is getting Devot to sign this document, but in the middle of his signature, Lydia has already showed up and she says, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And then Beetlejuice is all fucking torn because he wants to get with Lydia. He's still in love with her, but he's also trying to get the life of this child. And with Trevani's help and Lydia's help, they're able to defeat Beetlejuice and carry on living their lives. And Trevani stops going on the phone and shit as much. She's less of a brooding teenager. She's closer to her family. And both of the parents are also more willing to entertain these kind of beliefs. And of course, now they believe Devot for having seen Beetlejuice. And I made this rule up that Beetlejuice only has to be defeated one time by the residents of the home. Okay? So as soon as they defeat him, right, that one time, then he's going to have to wait until the next group of people moves into the house. Okay? So, thank you for coming to my new better idea for a Beetlejuice movie. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Wow, this is over an hour long. I'm not going to show you my mess because it's like really absurd. Well, this movie was a disappointment. It was still fun. It was still fun to see it. It was still fun to go. I had a good time. I just wish it had been better. And I saw it with one of my new movie buddy friends, and he was like, there's something missing in today's movies that used to be in old movies. And I was like, you're right. And I kind of touched on this in the other video I made recently reviewing Alien Romulus and The Crow, which is like, and actually I was telling my other friend about this because we were talking about 1990s kids shows versus today's shows. Let me just tell you about that quickly, okay? I feel like when I was a kid, all the very young kids shows, like shit on Nick Jr. and PBS or whatever the fuck, I felt like those were those shows back when I was a kid, they were really aiming to teach kids. They were really aiming for there to be a lesson. And I definitely feel that way about fucking Hey Arnold. Fam, hit me up if you love that show, because I fucking love that show. They were really trying to get kids to pay attention. They were trying to have a lesson there. Okay? And I have watched some more modern day shows for kids. And obviously not all of them are like this. Obviously not all of them were like this when I was a kid. There were some like this when I was a kid, but my point is that I feel like more shows today for kids are designed completely to just keep their attention for 30 whole minutes. Same with movies. Like, yeah, you'll have my attention for the time that I'm in here. Let me tell you something. I have to tell you something. This is so important. Listen, when you have a movie, okay? When you have a movie that people watch in a theater, right? And then it ends, what you don't want to do, what you don't want to have is people getting the fuck up and leaving as quickly as they possibly can, because that's an indicator that it wasn't that good of a movie. Sorry. All right? Both times when I saw Beetlejuice, like immediately when the credits rolled, people jumped up and left. Because it wasn't that good of a movie. You want people to want to stay, and people clapped. A couple of people clapped the first time I saw this movie, but the second time no one clapped. And I think that people clapped the first night because they were just excited to see it, and it was kind of fun, but it wasn't that good. I'm just saying that movies today are really missing a lot of heart. they're missing a lot of soul, which is bad because doesn't Beetlejuice eat souls or some shit? They're just missing key things that should be in movies but aren't. That should be in our entertainment but aren't. Oops. Anyway, I think I might have talked for long enough. If you really like Beetlejuice, you can go watch this. Yeah, it made a lot of money, but that doesn't mean it was actually quality. Quote me.